So now they've got to start from deep in their end of the field, and Garrison Hurst takes advantage of it. He takes the handoff, hits to his right, gets to the 20. He's in the 30, needs to cut in. He comes back up the right sideline, breaks a third tackle, comes down to the 30. He's down to the 20. He's down to the 10. He's down to the 5. He's into the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown! 49ers! 96-yard run from scrimmage. Garrison Hurst breaking tackle after tackle, sweeps down the sideline, throws off bodies like clothes after a marathon.
Young, back to throw. In trouble, he's going to be sacked. No, gets away. He runs, gets away again, goes to the 40, gets away again, to the 35, cuts back at the 30, to the 20, the 50, the 10. He died. Touchdown, 49ers.
Third down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking, got it, post, and it's got it! Touchdown! Touchdown, 49ers!
It is second down. Ryan takes the snap, throws the slant to the left side. It's Russell, intercepted! The 49ers pick it, and Navarro Bowman is redemption! Navarro Bowman running it all the way for the touchdown! No greater redemption!
The San Francisco 49ers, we can do whatever we want.
Click, click, boom! What's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is back, guys. We are here to bring you guys our preview show of the 49ers' upcoming matchup against the Minnesota Vikings. Guys, this is a huge game. Huge playoff implications here on the line, and we can't wait to break this thing down, man. We've been doing some listening. We've been doing some talking, some thinking amongst ourselves, and I think we got a special show here for you guys tonight. I think all our shows are special, but this one I'm a little bit more juiced about. So hope you guys enjoy what we have in store for you guys. Now, you guys already know who I am. I'm your guy, 49ers Mike _NFL. To my right, my guy, Tony. He is NJ Niner fan 499. Tony, what's going on with you, big bro? How you feeling, man?
No, I'm just a little tired.
Sorry.
It's all good. No, it's not because you. Whatever. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yes.
Day after. Hope you had a good day with your families and stuff. Yeah, we're gonna touch on this game today. Like you said, there's a lot of playoff implications with this, and it's gonna be interesting once we start getting into it.
Got you. I mean, we're going to break this all down, but let's go through these formalities that everybody hates, and then we're going to jump into the good stuff, all right? So, guys, if this is your first time here, you happen to stumble across this or whatever, if you've never been on our YouTube show, hopefully you guys enjoy the show, and if you do, you should subscribe, okay? And then after you subscribe, you should turn on your notifications so you know exactly when we're going live. So this show tonight did not come with the 3-hour, 4-hour heads up. This one was hit start and then get ready. So you're going to have to make sure those notifications are turned on, okay? We also do impromptu shows with breaking news and things like that. We were close to doing a breaking news because I got some news that I was really excited about concerning the team, but we didn't do it. But when we do, those notifications are what's going to save you, so make sure they're turned on. And then hit that like button. It's going to help other people who like shows similar to what you like will show up in the little algorithms that will help other people find it. So please like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. We have some different social media platforms that we want you guys to give us a follow on: Twitter and Snapchat. Those handles are nothing but 9. That's the number 9. Nothing but 9 ERS. All right. We have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. That is Nothing But Niners. It's spelled all the way out. No numbers in there. Okay. We have an email if you guys want to send us questions, comments, suggestions for the show, some suggested guests or something like that you want us to talk to. Let us know, man. We'll do it. We'll reach out to people. Okay. NB9 ERS and nothingButNiners.com. And then last but certainly not least is our Patreon, guys. Patreon.com/NB9ERS. Tony, man, you need some Red Bull or something over there, bro. I see you going through it. I got my Red Bull in the cup over here, so I'm ready to rock out. We normally don't go this late, but what happened was I have a friend of mine I haven't seen in years. He's in town from Florida. And he was like, Mike, what you doing? And I work today like crazy. So I just hang out with him for like 3 or 4 hours, and we're here to do the show. So West Coast people, I mean, you guys are sitting here, you're chilling, you're rocking. East Coast guys, it's a little late. It's almost tomorrow. So Tony, thanks for sticking with it, man. I really do appreciate it. All right. We got to start with the injury update, man. Now, I did not get to see Shanahan's presser that just went off like a couple hours ago. I didn't see that one, but the previous one I saw, and he said a couple of things that excited me. This is what I almost did the breaking news video for. And the two big names that we're getting back, supposedly, I don't know if he changed his mind. I don't know if it changed in the last presser. D Ford, yeah, I said it. D Ford and Dre Greenlaw. Tony, if these guys are back, what does that mean for the 49ers?
It means a lot. You're adding another rotational edge rusher to the mix. Instead of if we're in our base, you got three high caliber starting linebackers and Warner, Greenlaw, and Aziz. Aziz stepped in and played pretty damn well while Greenlaw was down. So now your base defense just got stronger, and your nickel defense, meaning third down packages, got stronger. So it's something good to have right now going into this part of this stretch of the schedule.
Yeah, absolutely, man. This 49ers team, man, they've come out and they've I hate saying like the cheesy lines, impose their will, but that's kind of what they've been doing, man. They're getting to this, people have been saying bully ball, this physical brand of football, where Jimmy Garoppolo is operating with precision. The run game is just churning, it's this relentless run game too. It's not even like anything phenomenal. We don't have the 70, 80 yard runs anymore. We don't even have like the 50-yard runs anymore, right? But it's like, 10 yards is the big one, 12 yards is the big one. But we're going to, 3 and 4 yard you to death until you guys do something to stop it, and it's very, very impressive. You're seeing, Jimmy look good. The team is trending in the right direction at the important time of the year. All right. And so then when you get reinforcements back on all sides of the ball, it's really important, and I don't know about were there any guys coming back from the offensive side of the ball? Mitchell, they were saying that they were going to evaluate his finger today. So Kyle probably discussed that. I don't know if Mitchell's going to be back.
I think he's listed as questionable.
Oh, that's good. That's very good because I believe he was doubtful earlier. So that's good. That means it's a step in the right direction. I know they were saying they were trying to look at his finger and see how it was going to be. So that's even better. And then, like you said, the base defense gets a boost, and then the nickel packages gets a boost.
Yeah.
And then with the emergence of Arden Key, you add that to the mix and the rotation, man. This 49ers defensive line could give us some of what they envisioned all along at the beginning of the season. And that's exciting going down the stretch. Let these guys get better, And I don't expect to see A+ Dre Greenlaw or A+ D Ford.
No.
Because they're going to have to get back into the rhythm of the game and things like that. But imagine what they're going to look like 3 games from now.
Yeah. No, of course, you're right.
That's damn exciting, man. That's damn exciting, man. It really, really is. So I believe that's all I have on the injury front for you guys. But we're going to talk about a couple of different things here now. The holidays just passed. I'm going to play this clip. And I'm going to ask you guys a question. Kyle Shanahan said something that I just thought was hilarious. And this was on a KNBR interview. And he was talking about, you know what? Let me make sure this isn't sped up. And I'm just going to hit play and let you guys hear what Kyle Shanahan had to say. And then I'm going to ask you guys a question. Here we go.
I tell her, I give a story to our players every Thanksgiving about watch out for Uncle Keith. And my uncle's really not named Keith, but I say he is. And it's everyone has an uncle or a brother-in-law or someone who is here for the weekend, who every time you get home is waiting to play cards, waiting to have some cigars, a couple drinks, and he's on vacation.
Right.
We are not. Do not let Uncle Keith ruin your career, and because they will. And it's a lot of these guys.
All right, I'm just going to stop it there. So, all right, I know for a fact Kyle's not talking about me. But damn, cards, you guys have seen me on a Saturday night. Remember we were doing the Midnight Madness series and I was out at my buddy's house, and I'm literally playing cards, drinking scotch, and smoking cigars. Guys, I'm Uncle Keith. I am an Uncle Keith. Like when my family comes over for the holidays and all that stuff, that's exactly what I'm looking forward to doing. I want to sit down. I want to smoke. I want to play some cards so we can talk junk. I want to have a nice drink and relax. Tony, when your family gathers, are you the Uncle Keith?
I could be.
Yeah. I wonder, like, if you're an Uncle Keith and you're in this chat, if you fit that description, just say me or I'm Uncle Keith, because I'm definitely Uncle Keith, man. Now, what does it take for you to become an Uncle Keith?
What do you mean? What does it take? What do I do?
Well, for example, right? Like if I'm on the clock, I can't become the whole Uncle Keith. I just got to be a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't go all out. So the situation has to be right. You know what I'm saying? I know you work 16s, right?
Yeah.
I can imagine that you're probably not Uncle Keith the night before 16. So
No.
what's the situation like for you to become the Uncle Keith?
I'll be an
Kyle's
Uncle
talking
Keith.
about?
I'll be an Uncle Keith my first night off when somebody else has to go to work the next morning. Like something like that. Like, yo, come on, that's all right. Don't worry about it, because I know I don't have to get up. So I'm good. So yeah, that's where I become the Uncle Keith.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And you know, it's pretty. I'm a 24-year-old Theo Keith. That's funny, David. That is funny, man. I'm Uncle Keith's uncle. I love it, man. I love it, man. You know, and like it's cool, man. Everybody's got them. You know, there's always that person at every family gathering, just wanting to keep going. It's like, guys, like I got to put the kids to bed. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the other thing too. Like, it depends on if I have the whole squad with me. All right, if I'm at my dad's house, my dad and his wife have this house, and there's like 5-6 bedrooms. I can turn into Uncle Keith there, because if I get too Uncle Keithish, I can crash there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But if I'm at my mom's house and it's her and she's in her 2-bedroom, I can't turn into Uncle Keith because I don't want to sleep on the floor. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
The situation has to be right. But guys, listen, whether you're an Uncle Keith or you have an Uncle Keith, or maybe no one in your family is like that, that's fine. But we do truly hope that you guys enjoyed the holidays and continue to do so. This is the time of year where there are people who just can't wait to turn up. If you're that person, I applaud you. If you're not that person, I applaud you. And if you're one of those people where the holidays seem to be a negative time, or you start feeling down and sad and things like that, guys, take it easy. You know, just weather the storm. Okay, we're going to be hoping for everyone's mental wellness and things like that. So you guys don't go out there and I got an Aunt Keith. Does that count? Yes. In my family, there's a lot of Aunt Keiths. We got to come up with a different name for Aunt Keith, though.
Yeah.
What's a K name? Aunt Katie? Aunt Kathy? What's the K version of Keith?
Kim.
Aunt Kim. Oh, that's funny. Oh, you better hope she doesn't see this show. That's good, Tony. I like that, man. Okay. I like that a lot, man. Oh, Aunt Kim. There you go. So, guys, man, let's jump into this, Tony. I have this whole thing here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to take a picture of this and then send you a screenshot so you know where we're going and you can keep up with me throughout the show. This is what we're going to be discussing, not particularly in this order, but this is going to be on the itinerary for today. All right. So I just sent you a text message. Mm-hmm. And I want to talk about this upcoming matchup, man. There's a lot of different places that we can start. No, Aunt Karen is not. No, we can't even do Karens anymore. Like it's so bad, man. The name, I have a god sister named Karen, and I haven't talked to her since like the Karen name did what it did. But I want to, because I know me. The first thing I'm going to ask her is, so how you feel about your name? Like, I want to ask her, now that Karen became like a negative thing, you know what I'm saying? She's really Karen. I want to know like how she feels about it and all, but you know, it is what it is. Before we get into the Vikings so much, I want to talk about this 49ers team. Mm-hmm. I want to know about the things that we've seen these last 2 weeks. Is it sustainable? Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to discuss a little bit of perception. Yeah, let's do this. Perception versus reality. Now, we've done this before on the show. All right. But I want to know if some of this stuff that we've been seeing is sustainable. All right. We've seen the 49ers 2 games in a row now, no turnovers. That wasn't the norm for the 49ers. Right. We've seen turnovers on defense. That wasn't the norm for us earlier this year. The wide receivers all of a sudden don't know how to drop a pass. That wasn't the norm. Brandon Ayuk was 7 for 7. That wasn't the norm. This team, since preseason, has been dropping a ton of passes. And it's not just, you know, the Sherfields and the Benjamins. It was the Debos, the Ayuks, the Kittles. You know, Kittle's been having drop issues. Debo's been having drop issues for years in the NFL. Jimmy Garoppolo and his poise, the effective passing, and he's throwing into tight windows on certain plays. That hasn't been the norm. He didn't get the happy feet and things like that, right? If you watch that very first play of the game against the Jaguars, they pressed Jimmy. They did a double corner blitz, and he had to lob the ball in the air to George Kittle on the left sideline, right? And it wasn't just about lobbing the ball over there, right? It's one thing to throw it to him, and Kittle was like right at the line of scrimmage or a little bit beyond it, right? I'm watching the play right now. They come in off the corner, Jimmy's backpedaling, and he throws it. I heard Kyle Shanahan say that Kittle ran 8 yards while that ball was in the air. So Jimmy threw it knowing Kittle had to keep running his route and just touch. Perfect for him to get it, gets the first down. That's not normal Jimmy.
No.
That's not the Jimmy that we've become accustomed to. So let's break this thing down here step by step. We're even going to talk about the run game and if it's sustainable, okay? So let's talk about perception versus reality. And this is all opinion. This is not fact-based or anything like that because we don't know what the future holds. So let's start with the no turnovers on offense. All right? Let's talk about the no turnovers on offense. And that's a tough one because a bad throw, a tip pass, okay, those things turn into turnovers. A fumble by somebody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A pitch that doesn't go the right way. There's so many different ways that you can have a turnover, and we just haven't done it in the last 2 games. Is that what we want to happen? That what we're seeing, the perception, these last 2 games versus reality? What's your opinion? Is that sustainable?
I mean, we all hope it could be sustainable, right? But I do think, like, you know, can this team with the mindset and the game plan and the structure of this offense, the way they've operated the last 2 games, get through a turnover in a game? And my answer is yes, because in a situation like that, the way they've been coming out on their first drive is, you know, straight physicality, and we're going to run the ball right down your throat, throw the ball down your throat, and we're just going to physically beat you this first possession. And I honestly feel it's not only physically, it's a mindset that they're trying to establish. Bully ball, perfect word to describe it, or phrase to describe it. So do I think we could sustain it? I would love to. Could I see them getting a turnover this game? Possibly. I mean, yeah, do we want it? No, but I just feel that this team is this offense is operating with a different mindset right now. And it's a lot different since that Arizona game, which I feel the reason why they lost that game was those 2 turnovers. And the deficit that those 2 turnovers got them in. So there were 3. Structure.
If I'm not mistaken, there were 3 turnovers in that game, right?
Yeah, the interception was later in the game.
Okay. I see what.
But the first 2, the first 2 it killed them that game.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. They took points off the board and they scored off of them. So you gave them 2 extra possessions here. We don't normally do this, but I am going to answer this. I'm going to post this question here because this is specifically to you. I'll read it and then you can respond to it. Okay. DJ Malone says, Tony, a bit of a weird question. Considering the offense is predicated on establishing the run for play action pass, would we be going from I formation to split backs when we're in the red zone?
No, I think they stay in I formation in the red zone because when you do a split back, it lessens the threat as a run. Where I formation, you have a better. It shows you have the ability to show a better play action, right? So let's say if the fullback goes to the strong side tackle's rear, and the halfback goes to the weak side tackle's rear, it's either going to be a toss to the right with the line of fullback motioning under the formation, or it's going to be what they used to call, I forgot what Bill Walsh used to call it, but you would have the split backfields like this. This would be the tailback, this would be the fullback, and at the snap they would just run to their right, parallel to the line of scrimmage, and they would just run up the field.
Like the end around play.
Like almost like an end around design.
Right.
So I think there's a bigger threat running a play action out of the I formation because it can go right, left. It could be a toss to the right. It could be direct, like step at 6 o'clock and hand the ball off.
Right.
There's different variations that you could do.
Yeah, we've seen them. We've seen the tailback go one way, the fullback go another, and the quarterback just turns immediately, and you see the sneaky little handoff. You don't see the arm extend all the way. He can put it right in the belly of the fullback if he wants to. You know what I'm saying? Like he can just go that way if he wants to, or he can extend his left hand and give it to the tailback. It depends on how they want to do it. So I get what you're saying. All right, so with these turnovers, man, I'm gonna give my opinion on all these also, man. I don't think it's sustainable. No turnovers is not reality. I know that's what's happened. in the last couple of games, but I don't think that's reality, and we should not expect to go through a game without turnovers, even though that's what we've seen in the last couple of weeks. Now, I do think that we can sustain and minimalize the turnovers. One turnover a game is still a successful formula for winning games. I heard Tim Ryan say this crazy stat, and I haven't checked it or not, but if you win the turnover battle, 86% of the time you win the game. So that's something that we have to keep in mind. You can get one turnover, but try to get two on the other side. You know what I'm saying? And we saw a game where the Niners completely lost the turnover battle. I don't know if you remember. We were there, though. That Steelers game in 2019, where we had was like 5 turnovers or something crazy. And we were, what was the score at half? We were losing by 3 or winning by 3, something like that.
I think we were losing by 3. And I just want to say the only reason why we were in that game is because they had Zach Randolph playing.
What?
The quarterback.
Is that who the quarterback was?
Yeah, Roethlisberger was out that game.
What's his name? Was it Rudolph? Randolph? No.
Rudolph.
What's that kid's name?
Did I say Zach Rudolph?
You said Randolph.
Whatever that kid's name. The backup quarterback.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. Yeah. You think if Ben was in there, we would have got roasted, huh?
Yeah.
We got into a big argument in the stands with Nick.
Because he was very, very inconsistent that game.
Yeah. And it was his first game, too. It was his first game. Mason Rudolph.
That's it.
Good job, DJ.
And to survive 5 turnovers and still even be considered in that game we were very lucky.
And I think we got 2 or 3 turnovers from them.
I think we got 2 from them.
Right. We definitely lost the turnover battle.
There was a 3 points. There was a 3 turnover swing.
Yeah.
So that was crazy.
All right. So the turnover thing, I think we both agree. Do you agree with what I said? Like expecting no turnovers the rest of the year is not reality.
Of course.
Right. Okay. All right, cool. But you want to minimize the damage. You don't want to go out there and do anything too crazy. And you just want to try to make sure that, you're getting it done the right way. So, all right. The next one on this list that I have, perception versus reality, is turnovers on defense. These last couple of games, we've gotten at least 2 turnovers from the team, right?
Yeah.
I think we got 2 turnovers from the Rams and 2 turnovers from the Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen, I don't know if they came up with like a hot word. I don't know, but I don't know. The Cardinals game, I believe it was. That was who we played before the Rams, right? With the Cardinals. There was the fumble caused by.
No, was it the Cardinals? Yeah.
There was a fumble. I think it was the Cardinals game. It might have been the Colts game, but there was a fumble, and Fred Warner didn't dive on it, and they ended up recovering their own fumble.
The Cardinals game.
And that ended up coming back to bite us in the ass later on. Where this last week, Norman comes in, punches the ball out, and Warner just sold out. Boom, right on top of it immediately. Right. I don't know if they came out with a hot word. I got it. I hit it. Boom. Whatever. I don't know what happened, but it worked. You saw a little bit of a different effort from Warner to make sure he got on that ball this time. Perception right now, 2 turnovers game for the 49ers. Is that reality, in your opinion, Tony? Is that sustainable?
I mean, I would love it. Everyone was like quick to turn the page on Norman because it was in the Arizona game, but Norman leads the league in forced fumbles with 6, I believe. So
5 or 6. I don't remember exactly which one it is, but yeah, you're right.
Granted, I mean, listen, he does have his flaws. I'm not saying he's a perfect cornerback, but when you have a cornerback that has the ability to force 5 or 6 forced fumbles and add an interception to it, that's big, especially if the offense is converting on that turnover and putting points on the board. So with that being said, you want to go into the mentality thinking that you're going to get 1 to 2, potentially 3 turnovers a game. You want to set the bar high and shoot for your, strive for your goals to become a better defense where you're confident enough to go into that game saying, if we need to play, our defense will do it. Our defense will make that play. So, I'm not going to say it's going to carry on and become a consistent part of our defense where we're getting 3 turnovers week in and 2 turnovers week in and week out. No, I'm not going to say that yet because they still have a little more to show, but it is a step in the right direction.
Absolutely. On the year, the 49ers have 4 interceptions, 5 fumble recoveries for a total of just 9 turnovers. All right. And, if we were doing this now, keep in mind, we have 4 turnovers in the last 2 games. So clearly that's not reality, right? That's not how we've been doing things. But these last 2 games have changed the mindset of a lot of people. And I think rightfully so. We'll get to that in a little bit. I think rightfully so. We've kind of turned this corner with the defense. They're very focused at it, and like you said, people were done with Josh Norman, yet here he is leading the league in forced fumbles. So, there's something to it, and he said, I like when I heard him explain his thought process. It was every opportunity, every time I'm out there, it's an opportunity to force a fumble. And if I get 76 attempts or 70 attempts to force a fumble, one of them, they got to come out. He was like, so it's just a matter of, my mindset. I'm going to go after it every time I can. And I like that. And it's, it's tricky. The aggressiveness causes him to fall down sometimes when he's playing his guy too hard. And, it'll be a completed pass. But fortunately, the team can swarm and they gather quickly. The safeties are playing at such a high level that if he does make a mistake going after the ball, there's someone there to clean up right away. I'm gonna go a little off schedule here. I think 2 turnovers a game can be sustained for the rest of the year. Now, just to be clear here, if you wanted to know who's leading the team or who's leading the league in total turnovers, it's the Bills. The Bills and the Colts have 25 total turnovers. Okay, 25 total turnovers. Meanwhile, we only have 9 on the year. We are 1, 2, 3, 4th from the bottom.
But who leads? Is it Norman? I'm pretty sure it's Norman that leads the league in forced fumbles.
I can look that up. Let me see here. NFL forced fumble leaders. Here it is right here. Boom. And forced fumbles, number 1, Josh Norman with 5. He's got 5.
He's 5. So the 6th one would have been his interception for turnover.
Mm-hmm.
So he had 5 forced fumbles and he has 1 interception.
And he's got the pick on the year. That's right. So, I mean, that's saying something, man. That's saying something because let me tell you, he's a DB. All right. And the next closest person in the secondary is Darwin James with 3 with the Chargers. And he's a safety.
Yeah.
The next DB on the list is Terrence Mitchell with the Texans. So, I mean, it's very interesting. I mean, if you want to go just corner, I'm saying DB that encompasses them all.
Yeah.
Avante Maddox with the Eagles has 2.
Yeah.
Forced fumbles. So Josh Norman is doing something incredible. Normally, that role is allocated to linebackers. They're the ones that get the square up and punch the ball out right away, especially from running backs. Linebackers run this list 1, 2, 3. You take away Josh Norman, the top 3 are linebackers. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty impressive what he's doing, man. It's something that we really should, give him his credit for. I like that. I like it a lot. I do think if this offense continues to put up points the way that they're doing, teams are going to get a little bit more desperate. Guys are going to try to run for a couple of extra yards instead of covering up the ball and going down after a decent gain. They're going to fight for 2 or 3 more yards. That's when the ball becomes a little bit more exposed. That's when you become a little bit more vulnerable. I don't think it's a coincidence that 2 games, 30-plus points, desperation.
Exactly. And I honestly think it's tied to the mindset that the 49ers are playing with and how they're attacking these teams and physically beating them with that first possession, and it totally flips your script. Right now, you're like, oh shit, we got to, the clock is ticking. We need to respond to this 13-minute drive. Okay, so now you extend the ball, and like you said, you try to get that extra yard and try to keep your drive so you could come up and respond to a drive that just friggin' milked 13 minutes off the clock, right? So now the mindset of the opposing offense is totally different, and they're out of their realm. So now, with that being said, because of Kyle's mindset that he comes out with his offense, and we're going to touch on it, it's also affecting the opponent's offense and how they're responding.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do think it's sustainable. I do. It also helps that, the turnovers happen, like you said, after the really, really long drives or once we're up 2 scores. That's when we're getting the turnovers. You know what I'm saying? So I like it. I do think it's sustainable. I think that we can get at least 1 turnover a game going forward. So I like that. The next one that I want to discuss here, reality versus perception. No drops. Now, this is a big one. We're talking about how efficient the offense is being. And we're talking about how this team has looked not just at the beginning of this year, but just since Kyle's been here, man. Since Kyle's been here, wide receivers, tight ends, the drops have happened. Now, sometimes it's the fault of the quarterback, sometimes the fault of the target. But drop passes are just a part of football.
Correct.
And I don't have the exact numbers of what it's been. Actually, I can actually look that up too. Let me look that up. NFL drop passes. Let's see here. Drop passes by team or player. Let's see if we can do it by player. NFL leaders, passes dropped. Here we go. Oof, they're doing this by individuals. All right, so Deebo Samuel. Is this year? Is 2021? Whew. All right, so Deebo Samuel is our leader with 5 drop passes. All right, he's our leader. So he's tied for 3rd in the league. And if you keep going down, I would have to go to the next page, I guess, because there's nobody else. Nobody else has 3 on our team. And that's saying something because there's a lot of names on this list right here. Let me see if I just sort by NFC, maybe it'll give me more. Nope, it doesn't say anymore. So what this site that I'm looking at right here doesn't list all drop passes, but Deebo's a leader and he hasn't even done it a lot. He's got 5 on the year, but Brandon Ayuk has come out like a man possessed, a perfect 7 of 7. I thought I would see maybe George Kittle on that list, but it only goes down to 3 because there's so many people with drop passes. It comes into play that Jimmy's been more poised, been throwing more catchable balls. And again, if it's not a catchable pass, like, so for example, right, that pass to Trent Williams on the tackle eligible play, that doesn't count as a drop pass. Didn't hit his fingertips. It was nowhere near him. Doesn't count as a drop pass. So it doesn't mean that every pass is a completion, but anything that touches their hand, that's going to be considered a drop pass. We don't have any. We didn't have any last game. I think we had 1 the game before that. Perception is we've improved. We fixed our drop passes woes. What's reality in your opinion?
I hope it carries, man. I do think you see, like, I honestly feel, and we're going to get more into this as we go deeper into the offensive attack from the 49ers going into this game. I honestly feel with the way Kyle has come out his last 3 games with the mentality of running the ball, time of possession of the first drive, physicality on the first drive, I think it took a little bit of the pressure off of Jimmy, and it's letting Jimmy to throw maybe an easier ball. I mean, do I honestly feel there's still going to be a drop here or there, but I think overall as a unit, this team has improved significantly on the offensive side of the ball. They're focused, they're locked in, they're laser focused. Like it's just something that happened, and Kyle must have reamed them a new you know what, um, and just rep the shit out of them. And I honestly feel it worked. And the whole Ayuk discussion, right? You said 7 of 7.
Mhm.
Now, if you want to start talking about that, we could get into that. But if you look at the routes that Ayuk ran last
Uh-oh.
week, what?
No, go ahead. Talk about it. You're getting there. Let's go.
If you look at the routes that Ayuk was assigned to run versus the Rams versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're all the routes that Deebo Samuel ran in the previous weeks while Kyle was making his statement towards the Brandon Ayuk, or the tough love, getting him to focus in, hone in more on his responsibilities as a wide receiver, his responsibilities as an NFL player, work ethic, all that thing, all those things, the doghouse thing. Well, guess
Mhm.
what? It all worked. Because is it coincidence that this offense took that step, and the versatility and the expansion and the different philosophy of this team has changed significantly since Brandon Ayuk has stepped up and become a staple of this offense?
Yeah. And that Brandon Ayuk's ability to be that wide receiver that we wanted him to be has allowed the team to use Deebo in different ways.
Correct.
You don't get one
Jet sweep,
without the other. Yeah.
not only the jet sweep, but now they're implementing them in the run game and out of the
Mhm.
backfield. So it's different looks. And the reason why I honestly feel that they've been using Deebo in the backfield a little more is because the game, Elijah Mitchell has the vision for the outside zone that you want for the running backs in this system, correct? So
Yes.
the next person, I think the person with the best vision on this team is Deebo. And he showed that week in and week out, carry in and carry out versus Jacksonville. He hit
Yes.
those edges exactly when he needed to hit
Did
them.
you see the one where he led the blocker in front of him and then broke out for the 21-yard? Oh my God.
Yeah. So now, if you sit there and look at it and say, like, I know we discussed this on the phone a couple times, but let's discuss it now real quick. If you look at it, okay, Kittle's healthy. Okay. Ayuk's out of the doghouse. He accepted the tough love. He learned his lesson. He improved. He corrected what he needed to correct. You have him. Now you have Deebo all over the damn formation. You have Jawan Jennings now, who's making a name for himself. All right, drawing penalties, keeping his cool, blocking down the field. You have finally this team. Well, not last week, but because Mitchell was out, but finally this week, potentially, you could have your full offense intact. That is scary.
It should be terrifying for the rest of the league.
It's it's scary. And I think with the way Kyle has made his adjustment, I honestly feel like people need to get off his back. What is that? He's saying arrogant. Kyle's an arrogant coach. He believes in this way or the highway, blah, blah, blah. Well, I hate to tell you, no, he's not. Because if you look at the offense that he ran in Atlanta, it looks nothing like the 49ers that he is running now. It never has. So I just feel that Kyle is adapting to the skill set of his offense.
Yeah. since we're here, we're talking about the run game and Debo and things like that. I'm going to skip one. Let's go to the consistent run game. That was the next one on the perception versus reality, right? And there's a lot that goes into this run game thing. Debo and his usage back there, and even just how we were running the ball. A lot of people said, yeah, we ran it 40 times against the Rams, but that's the Rams. Jacksonville's a really good run defense. We don't expect that. Maybe we can get to 30. They did 40 again. They did 40 plus again, right? And that was against a good run defense. So is this sustainable? And I'm asking this because they did include Debo in that. Debo had one catch. That's it. All his other yards, it was 70, 80 something yards and a touchdown, came from the run game. You know what I'm saying? I knew for a fact, and I'm glad I didn't go and put money down on it. But I knew for a fact Debo was going to get 1,000 yards in that last game. I knew he was going to cross that line. He had one catch and he's 6 yards short. You could not tell me Debo wasn't going to get the required yards for the 1,000 yard. You know what I'm saying? I think he was at 979 or something like that. I think he only needed 21 yards. You know what I'm saying? There's no way he's not going to get it, but he didn't. However, he was more effective. So this is a loaded question here with the perception versus reality. Perception, these last two games, we're running the ball very well, 40 plus times a game. We're averaging 3-point-something yards a pop, and Debo Samuel is a part now of the run game. Well, you have Mitchell, who's possibly coming back. You have Wilson with another week under his legs. You know what I'm saying? You got Trey Sermon out there now. Do we continue to expect this from Debo? Do we continue to expect? I won't say 40 because that is not realistic. Do we continue to expect 30 rushing attempts a game? Perception says yes. What's reality to you?
I do. I think this is going to be the new staple of Kyle's offense. I definitely think so.
Do you think that Debo gets those carries if Mitchell's
No, I think Debo will be involved somewhat. I don't think he gets as many carries as he's been getting. I think that's because the void of Mitchell to help with that outside run game with the outside zone. I mean, Jeff Wilson's good, but I feel Jeff Wilson's vision on the outside needs improvement. In the middle between the two tackles, I think that's where his strength is in his vision. I just feel that this is the new Kyle Shanahan offense, and I think this is the offense that he wanted to run because it's within the structure, right? Everything's ran within the structure. We all know the play action based offense, and if you're running the ball that much and having success doing it, you're doing a couple things. You're having time of possession, number one. When you have time of possession, that means the opposing offense is on the sideline. So that's number two. So right there, you're killing two birds with one stone.
Yes, sir.
So with that being said, is I believe that this is the new 49ers, and it's going to continue until someone says, no, it's not going to continue. Now, by doing this, I think it takes an immense amount of pressure off of Jimmy Garoppolo's shoulders. Because now he knows, right? We're coming out with this mentality. We're going to physically beat this team up front. They did it versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have a bigger defensive line, more physical defensive line than the Rams and now the Minnesota Vikings. Okay,
probably combined.
When I say physical, I'm talking 330 plus in defensive tackles that are known to be fire hydrant run stuffing guys that are hard to move. So let's look at our deep offensive line, right? You have Mack, who's about 310 as center. You have Brunskill, who barely is 300 pounds. And you have Tomlinson, who's about 315. Those guys should be eating the interior of the offensive line up with that size, correct? So due to our scheme and beliefs and how we block up the run, we take advantage of them. So that's why I think it's going to continue, because it's making the game easier for Jimmy. He knows he doesn't have to put this team on the shoulder yet. He has to put this team on the shoulder and start throwing the ball all over the field. And I'm sticking to my motto. 25 to 28 and under in attempts,
for Jimmy.
I think this team will be unstoppable.
Yeah.
Because that tells me that run game is clicking.
I was thinking about something here, and we all know that the strength of Mike McGlinchey was the run game. And he did improve in pass pro. People are going to continue to hate on him and all that. But Mike McGlinchey even took a step forward in pass pro. But without your starting lineman in there, you have to kind of help hide the deficiencies in his replacements, whether it be Jalen Moore, whether it be Tom Compton. Do you think that Kyle figured, let me run the ball more aggressively because Mike McGlinchey's not in there? Before you answer that, let me read this comment, and you can think about it and give me an answer afterwards. Master Sid, thanks for the contribution. He says, Niner gear everywhere in the city. Cheers from San Francisco. I don't know if that's a good thing, man. I mean, they put it out there, but it should be flying off the shelves right now. I'll be honest with you, man. I haven't been this excited about Niners football since the season started. I was excited following week 1. After week 2, I liked that we were 2-0, but I didn't like the way that we won that game. That was an ugly win, right? It was an ugly win.
Well, no, the second one, versus the Eagles, you mean?
Yeah. The second win, I was a little concerned. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. A lot of people were down after the first one. Oh, we almost lost that game and all that. But I never jumped on that train. I still don't subscribe to that. I always felt like we were in control and we benched certain players, and we've rehashed that over and over. I was high after the first game. Second game, I was happy, but the high came down. And then all of a sudden we go on the 4-game losing streak. Then we beat Chicago. No, we went on a 3-game losing streak. Then we beat Chicago. Then we lose to the Cardinals, and now we're here with the Rams and the Jaguars. So, you know what I'm saying? Like that was the ebbs and flows of the season here. But this right now is the most excited I've been since following week 1. Again, 30+ points a game. You know what I mean? Defense was rolling. And if we're honest with ourselves, while the starters were in there on defense, what'd they have it in Detroit? 10 points? 17, something like that?
They clearly let up. I mean,
right. And so I don't think it's a coincidence that the offense was rolling week 1 and the starting defense only allowed 10 or 17. I don't remember exactly what it was, 10 or 17 points. And then these last 2 games, 30+ points and 10 or 17 points. That's what we allowed. I can't sit here and say that this isn't what I expected from the 49ers team. We're seeing what we saw in week 1, and now it's back here again. So, I mean, I'm excited about it, man. I'm excited about it. I would like to see the gear that's everywhere become harder to find. I think we should be getting that stuff off the shelves right now. I think this is the time to stand up. This is feeling to me like that 2011 Giants team. It really, really is. Getting hot at the right time, turning it up. They talk about the players meeting and da-da-da-da-da. So that's where I am. So what's your answer to the question that I asked? I know we kind of got away from it.
So basically, real quick, you're saying that since McGlinchey went down, they've focused on the run game. And is that because to protect Jalen Moore?
Compton.
It could have something to do with that, but I just think Kyle needed to get back to.
So you don't think it's directly related? It's okay. I'm just asking.
I don't, because let me explain to you why, right? It's easier to run block than it is to pass block, right? So look at the frame of Moore. He's a big physical kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of like in the same stature of like a Trent Williams type built, big physical. He's somewhat athletic, nowhere near as Trent Williams. So I think that they probably said to themselves, listen, if we put his hand in the dirt and say, go get this guy, seal the edge, and then scrape off to the second level, I think that's something he feels comfortable with. Because remember, he played guard, tackle, right, left tackle in college. And every lineman, what do they love to do? If you listen to Trent Williams talk at one of those press conferences, when he said, Kyle told us we're coming out and to run the ball this game, they all got happy.
Yeah. Yep. And this team for years, not just now, for years has been excited about running the ball. I don't know if you remember last year. No, it was during the Super Bowl run. Remember when Kittle had one reception in that game, but we blew out, I think it was the Packers my birthday weekend. Maybe it was in the postseason, but he's like, run it again. Huh?
That's when you went to the game.
Yes.
Yeah,
but
that's the Packers.
That was when the clip came out of Kittle. Run it again.
Yeah.
Keep going. The team has always gotten excited when they know, guys, we're going to ground and pound this game. They've always turned up for that moment. You know
what it's like? I kind of compare it to a defensive lineman on 3rd and long.
One direction. Let's go. Let's go get it. You turn up. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I like it. Good analogy. I like that. I like that a lot. All right. The last thing that we're going to do here, because we skipped it to get to the run game, was poised Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo was on this incredible, for his standards, an incredible 4-game stretch here. Okay. And I, for one, am not going to make any qualms about it. I'm not going to, try to convince people otherwise. I am not sold on Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm going to go first here. Okay. He is playing efficient. He is playing well. He is playing within the confines and constructs of this offensive scheme. Okay. So let me be clear with what I'm saying here. As long as the run game is going well, the way that it has been, I think we can see this Jimmy that we're seeing for the rest of the season. But what happens if the run game can't cook that way? On our opening drive, there was a sack of Jimmy Garoppolo and it made it 4th and 12. And as the team gets ready to walk off the field, they turn and they see yellow laundry on the field. Holding, defense, first down, 49ers. We continue to march down the field and we settle for a field goal. But that happened. And the defense for the Jacksonville Jaguars was wired. They were hyped up. They were high-fiving. They were jumping, chest bumping and everything. They thought they got this team that just had this long opening drive against the Rams. They thought they got us out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there was that holding call, and we took advantage of it. And finally, that's a good thing. We took advantage of a team messing up on 3rd down, not us messing up on 3rd down, okay?
Correct.
That's cool and all. But what happens when the run game isn't carrying us? What happens when Debo in the backfield isn't working? We see Debo, we're going to key on Debo. What happens when that changes up? Do I think the perception is these last, I'm going to say Rams, I'll say Chicago, Cardinals, Rams, and Jaguars, Jimmy has been playing the most consistent Jimmy ball of his career.
Now, we know why.
Yes. And now the question is perception versus reality. What we've seen of Jimmy in those games is that reality going forward and sustainable.
If they stick to what they're doing.
But someone's going to stop the run. We're going to start facing some bear fronts, right?
Yes.
They have to start doing that.
Correct. But I still don't think it's enough to take him out of the 28 to 30 attempt range. I still think they could run the ball, right? Let's look at it like this. Let's look at the Jacksonville game, right? They run a 34 defense, right? So that's 5 men in a box right off the bat, right?
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They run a 34 defense, so it's 5 men on the line of scrimmage. And they still ran the ball as a top 3 defense, right? It was on film what they did last week to the Rams. Still had success with the run game. Granted, I understand he took the sack, but you see why I'm so adamant that they run the ball. Because when you put him in a long situation like that and have him sit in the pocket and have to scan and not use his strength, which is his quick release, look what happens.
Right. But, all right, let me counter that. Just to play devil's advocate, okay? We weren't that successful on the rush attempts on 1st down. in this last game. If you go back and watch the first down runs, you'll see 1 yard, 2 yards, no gain. 3 yards was the max on first down. And what I noticed what Kyle was doing on second downs, he's lining up, and then the handoff in the run goes to the weak side, misdirection. So they would line up with their base forward line, the linemen, the 4 linemen, and then they would have the linebacker on the strong side, and they would just run away from it. Debo's touchdown run, I don't know if you got the game pulled up over there. Watch Debo's touchdown run. It was 2nd and 10. Okay. And then he ran away. He ran to the weak side, just the misdirection. He had numbers over there. You know what I'm saying? He ran away from the numbers because that's where the defense was lined up. Well, I'm doing it opposite. So on the screen, the way you guys see me, the defensive numbers were on this side. So Debo ran this way and got the touchdown. I'm just saying, I don't know how sustainable that is because Kyle's putting it on film. Every time we had a bad first down or a low gain, the next run was to like the weak side.
Correct. So let's take it back to the first drive. And I'm shooting from the hip because I don't remember. I don't have the access to watch Jacksonville. So the only reason why I was watching the Rams because it was on national TV and it was DVR.
Well, let me give you the login so you could see what I'm talking about, bro, because I don't mind.
So my thing is this, right? The first play from line of scrimmage, they send a double corner blitz, right? So that tells me that Jacksonville was cold-hearted, said that they were going to attack the edge in that run game, right? So those 2 receivers released off the line of scrimmage, free release pretty much, and were picked up by the safeties. All right, they probably bracketed them with high-low coverage on the outside, like the linebacker would drop to the hook, the flat zone, and the safeties had the deep third. Or whatever, deep quarter, whatever defense they were playing. So my theory is, look at what Jimmy did. It was it wasn't a simple throw, but it was a throw that was easier because it was a vacated zone. Right? So if you allow Jimmy to get the ball out of his hands quickly, right? That's his strength, and you're still able to catch a defense. All right. Let's take it back all the way to Bill Walsh. His philosophy was the short passing game was an extension of the run game.
Yes.
So if Jimmy is comfortable running the quick timing short pass game as an extension of your run game, and he's having success doing it, that's a fucking home run.
Right. I'm with you.
It's like the double-edged sword. So with that being said, I honestly feel that the offense is clicking. Jimmy's having his most success in his career as a 49er in a heavy run attack that's going to attack a team almost 40 times a game in the run game. And it's totally lifting the pressure off of Jimmy's shoulders. And when he has to make a throw, it's a schemed open throw, and it's usually out of his hands in 2 seconds.
Yes. Okay. So with that being said, you think that what we've seen of Jimmy, those 4 games that we pointed out, Cardinals, Chicago, Rams, Jacksonville, do you think that's the Jimmy we see the rest of the year? And that's sustainable?
I do.
All right. We're going to have our first disagreement here. I'm going to say no.
I think Kyle knows that the success of his team is based off his run game.
Okay. All right. I like it. I'm going to say no. And that's going to transition us out of our perception versus reality.
Wait, hold on. Are you saying like turnover-wise and stuff like that, or are you just saying success of the offense? Are you talking as an individual?
I'm talking about Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm only talking about Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't think that what we're seeing from Jimmy these 4 games is sustainable for him. I think that eventually he'll revert back to the Jimmy Garoppolo that we all scream at the TV about. You know what I'm saying? And now it could be because the run game isn't successful. It could be just a boneheaded play, or he's too wired, he's too excited, too amped up, whatever the case is. I just think that we see some of the old Jimmy come back. Jimmy's been playing really well for his standards. He's not taking the deep shots down the field and things like that.
I agree with you. If it's just your question is just based off of Jimmy the individual,
yes,
I do think Jimmy could kick back to bad habits. And honestly, I do think it could be this game with that linebacker in the middle of that defense.
And that's the perfect transition to previewing the Vikings. Okay. Kendricks is over there, guys. And I'm going to be completely honest with you, Tony. I know this is going to sound crazy because it's a whole year away from what actually happened, what I'm going to say, but I think Kendricks is the reason Trey Lance is a 49er right now. And I know one happened in 2019, the other happened in 2021. I know that. But there was a moment in time where doubt was casted into Kyle Shanahan's head about his quarterback. And I think it was the most evident in that playoff game against the Vikings, where Kendricks dropped 2 interceptions and held on to the third one. And Kyle took the ball out of his hands for the rest of the postseason until the Super Bowl, and we saw what the results were. And I think from that moment on, Kyle said, I need another quarterback. Don't take my word for it. Ask Kyle. Yes, we were in on Tom Brady. I mean, that's after a Super Bowl appearance. You were looking to make a change at the quarterback position. And then you look at them this offseason. Yes, we were in on Sam Darnold. Yes, we brought in Joe Flacco for a workout. Yes, we considered da-da-da. Just go down the list. Yes, we called about Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just saying, I think that Kendricks and Jimmy's inability to look beyond or identify the linebacker, whatever the case is, I think that whatever happened started from the Kendricks play or plays. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start previewing this Vikings team. And I'm going to start with Kendricks, man. He leads that team in tackles. He also leads that team in interceptions.
Yeah.
This linebacking core, in my opinion, is going to be more important than their defensive line because that defensive line is banged up right now. The players that are healthy can't play because of mental issues that are going on. They already officially ruled him out. That defensive line, they have one starter, and that starter wasn't even really meant to be a starter in Richardson. He was originally supposed to be a rotational guy, and just due to injuries and Danielle Hunter and so on and so forth being out, that's where they are right now. Let's start looking at their defense. Okay.
Yeah.
They play a cover 2. They try to disguise it, but that's who they are through and through. They're a cover 2 team. You got the 2 safeties deep. They play zone across the middle of the field, and their defensive line is banged up. How do you, in your opinion, attack this team? And this was the fun conversation that we had earlier today.
Okay, so they're a cover 2 team. They have the bend don't break mentality. They're aggressive on third down. They love showing the double A gap blitz on third down situations with Kendricks and either Barr or Vigil. I don't know how to say his name, but the other linebacker. All right.
You know, I always thought it was Virgil, but I don't think there's an R in there at all. I think it's Vigil.
Vigil, yeah. I'm going to go with the mentality of sticking to what got them to this point. I think and I'm going to say this clear, due to the injury situation. Now, this is a run defense that's not good. It's not. I think it's in the bottom half of the league. I don't think it's in the top half of the league. I think it's in the bottom half of the league. And that's when they're healthy.
Okay.
I think with the loss of Tomlinson, who's the other defensive tackle? One guy's on COVID, one guy's hurt.
Oh, I have it. I know what you're talking about. Let me find the picture.
There's one guy that is a COVID guy. The other guy's hurt, and they're both big physical run stoppers. They're their 2 run stopping defensive tackles. That promotes Sheldon Richardson into a starting role. Solid player, but my thought process is that I don't think they wanted him to have a big role.
Hunter, Pierce, Tomlinson, and Griffin.
Pierce and Tomlinson. Those are their 2 big boys in the middle.
Yes.
Okay. Similar to the statue of what they just faced versus Jacksonville. the two guys. Okay. Now, with that being said, you also have your top pass rusher, Hunter, who was just placed on the injured reserve and is out for the year.
Mm-hmm.
Let's throw into what happened with Everson Griffin. You know, he came out of the house, everything's okay, but he's also out. He's added to the physical unable to perform list, whatever. So now he's out. So now you're down across the board 4 starters. So now let's look at what the 49ers do best. They run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to stick with my feeling, and we all know if the run game gets going, things open up for Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're going to stick with the heavy run attack. Heavy run attack, anywhere between 35 and 40 attempts to do it. And it's not just straight handle ball off to the backfield. I think you could see the jet sweep come back into the picture. You know, whether it's Kittle, IU, Debo, whoever, I think there's going to be 35 to 40 rushing attempts this game. And I do think Kyle's going to stick to that for one fact. When he tried to give Jimmy a little leash versus the Vikings in the playoff games, Kendricks became a 49ers receiver. So with that being said, and I know Kyle knows this in the back of his head, and I know Jimmy has it in his head.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're going to come out and attack and take that long possession, that first drive, milk the clock, to get physical with them, because remember, their big boys aren't there. So let our strength attack your weakness.
Their weakness, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And let's put some points on the board and let's knock 10 minutes off the clock.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So now drive 2, you come out, you still hit them, and you keep hitting them and hitting them and hitting them. And it's going to open things up eventually. But I think what you want to do is, instead of them taking their deep drops and clogging the middle of the field, meaning the 2 linebackers, you want them to start cheating up.
Yeah.
So now the success of the run game, I think they're going to cheat up eventually.
Okay. I like where you're going so far. Sounds good.
That's where it's going to open a little bit.
Yes.
So I just feel Kyle knows what it takes to keep this offense in and have the success that they are having currently. And I think he's going to stick with that. And I think it's going to be the heavy run. I do think Jimmy could probably throw for 22 to 24 times this game. I do think the attempts are there, but I think they're going to be very situational. I don't think they're going to come flying out the gate and Jimmy's going to go 8 for 8 or 10 for 8 for 10 on the first drive. I don't.
Mm-hmm. I hear you, and everything you said makes sense, but I disagree, and this is why I was so excited about this show, because we have this difference of opinions, but I realized that our difference of opinions is only based off of timing. So while I agree with everything you said, the linebackers are going to have to cheat up. They're going to play that cover 2, the zone, right? Eventually, the linebackers are going to have to start getting a little closer to the line of scrimmage, right? Bigger windows in that zone now if you decide to do a pass play, right? But here's the difference. You want to see the run game, and you think the run game is going to be successful straight out the gate, and then they cheat up. The difference between my opinion and your opinion is that I think they cheat from the rip, because that defensive line is so weak and these new guys are in there. I think that they're going to have those linebackers cheating a little bit to help that defensive line. I think that the last 2 games, over 80 rushing attempts, is going to cause them to come out as if we've already been running the ball successfully on them. And because of that, I think we get tops 25 rushing attempts. Tops all game long. Now, what I won't count are the little tosses to the jet sweeps and things like that. If you want to include that, fine, make it 28. I don't think we run the ball 30 times in this game. I think this game, they put this ball in the hands of Jimmy Garoppolo because the Vikings are going to be trying to take away the run game. I think they're going to sell out because they have stubbornly been this cover 2 team and they refuse to get out of it. They do the disguises that you talked about, but once the ball is snapped, they're true to who they are. This is the play. This is the defensive style. This is what we do. I think that this is the game that they actually try to make the change. I really think that they say, forget it. We're not doing it. We're not going to do that because otherwise they're playing right into our hands. I can't. And here's the other thing. Remember when we played against Seattle and Seattle was allowing like, what was it? It was a crazy number, like 350 passing yards for 4 games in a row. We were like, yo, we're going to come out here and we're going to throw against this team because that's their weakness. Their secondary is torn up. That's not what Kyle did. 2 weeks later, we play against a team that's giving up 160 rushing yards a game. We had 98 in that game. Kyle has never taken advantage of an opposing team's weakness. I haven't seen him do it. I haven't seen him do it. You know how we played the Packers that year, and one of our was it Sherman? One of our corners got hurt at the end of the game, and they had to put Dante Johnson in or Kello Witherspoon or Emmanuel Mosley. It was Mosley or Witherspoon, Mosley or Johnson. And as soon as they put him in, that's what allowed. It was a CJ Beathard game. Beathard was going toe to toe with Aaron Rodgers. The whole world was watching. The corner got hurt, and Rodgers went right after him. I've never seen Kyle do that. I've never seen it. I'm not saying he's not capable of doing it, but he's been here for 5 years. I've never seen him do it. I can't see him taking advantage of that broken defensive line. Now, here's the flip side to it. That broken defensive line just happens to be what we're doing well right now. So maybe you're right. There is a possibility that what you're saying is right? But I'm going to stick to my guns here. I'm going to stick to my guns, and I think that Kyle is saying, this is what I put on film for 2 games in a row. That's what they're going to plan to stop. So I'm going to make Jimmy tear them up. You watched that Brandon Ayuk touchdown in this last game, right? And it was zone. Now, zone on the goal line or in the red zone, whatever, there wasn't a lot of space anyway for them to operate with. But Jimmy knew exactly who that ball was going to because he had Debo come across short and he could have hit Debo right at the goal line. He threw it over Debo's head to the back of the end zone, and Ayuk was wide open with the safety trying to emerge on him from one side and the corner coming from the other side. But the gap was so wide, or the linebacker, whatever one it was, the gap was so wide, it was there for the taking. I think that's the game plan this game. I really think that Kyle says they're going to try to help the defensive line. I'm going to take advantage of the secondary. And I think he's going to dink and dunk his way all over the field. I think you're going to have a heart attack because I think Jimmy passes 32 to 42 times this game.
That's not good. That's not good.
I know that's not our keys to victory.
You got to realize something, all right? And I'm going to ask you a question. What are you more worried about? The 49ers offense versus their defense, or the Minnesota Vikings offense versus our defense?
Well, that's a good question. And this is something that we have not discussed yet, so this is good. And if I'm being completely honest with you, I'm worried about their offense against our defense. Their offense is eerily similar to ours, and no one's talking about it. I've listened to a bunch of different podcasts this week, and I don't hear anybody saying their offense. I've heard people say, oh, Justin Jefferson is good. Yeah, Debo's better, though. That's cool. I hear people saying Dalvin Cook is good. I'm not going to say Mitchell's better, but our run game in total is better than what they're doing. You understand what I'm saying? There's a difference. Because Kyle doesn't just use the one guy. He uses Debo. He'll use Mitchell. He'll use, Wilson Jr. So Kyle will mix it up a little bit, but I am worried more about their offense against our defense. And I have some faith in our defense, but I'm more concerned about that side of the ball.
So that's why I'm very in the belief that the run game is the best way to go.
To keep them on the sideline. Listen, I agree with everything you're saying makes sense.
And that's their mentality. Look what they've done for the last 3 games.
But that's exactly why I think that so again, this goes back to the timing. You think at 12 minutes into the game, they start cheating up because of how good our run game is and how bad their defensive line is. And I think it's going to be from the first snap because of what we've done the last 3 games. You get the difference of what I'm saying here? I'm just talking about the timing. I think that the game goes the way you think it's going to go, but earlier than you think it's going to go. That's why I'm where I am. I think that they come into this game as if we are picking up right where we left off, and we're not going to let y'all run the ball down our throats like that. And see, look, people are agreeing with you. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're agreeing with you. Just keep running the ball. Look, they're saying exactly, Tony. They're with you. I just think a little different. I'm just thinking a little bit different. And if you want to be real here, I said I wasn't going to say this on here. I said I was going to say this on the Patreon episode. I'll say it. I don't care. I think Kyle wants to say, hey, Cousins, I don't need you. Look what I can do with Jimmy.
I agree with that, but I don't think it happens on the first drive.
Okay, and that's where the difference is. That's
because
really
it's not only about possession. It's not only about possession. It's not only about keeping you off. It's about setting the tone. Mm-hmm. You want to set the tone for this game. You want to say, we're going to outrun you. We're going to out physical. We're going to push you around. We're going to attack you. And you're setting that tone. And once that tone is set, it changes the mindset of the offense, of the opposing offense.
Let me ask you this question, because I agree with you. I do. Does it matter to you who gets the ball first?
Me personally, yes.
Me too.
I've always been the part of playing defense first.
Yeah, I understand that. But if we start on defense and they score, does that change our game plan for our first drive? Because remember what you said. Now I'm gonna let you think about it. I want to know if they get the ball first and we're on defense and they score, does it change our offensive attack? And this is why I'm asking you this. You just said that teams had to respond to what we were doing because of our first opening drive. Yeah. They go out there and they get 7. You think we're going out here and we're trying to run the ball 12 times on the opening drive? Hell no. In my opinion. I don't know what yours is going to be. But if they get the ball first and they score, you can forget all that running the ball that much, in my opinion, on that opening drive.
I don't think it changes, Mike, because if you look at the 49ers track record when they have success, they always win the time of possession.
Yes.
They always win the time of possession by a significant amount.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like the time of possession is the key. And if you win the time of possession by a significant amount, that tells me you're pounding and grounding, you're wearing this team out physically. Granted, it might not be all passes, but it's going to be literally a 2-yard slant that turns into like a 6 or 8 yard gain. So, and like I said earlier, you have to remember something. Kyle was around this team young when his father was on that Super Bowl team. And granted, the quarterback was a lot better than it is now, the quarterback play. But they had pretty much the same mentality. They had the short passing game, which was an extension of the run game. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. So I think like Kyle knows how to attack a defense and still keep Jimmy in that safe zone in attempts passed. So my honest opinion, if anybody in this chat is going to this game, please be loud. Because
when I think the defense is on the field.
I
said when the defense is on the field.
Yeah, please be loud when the defense is on the field and let the defense hear that roar, that stadium. And let's put the Vikings in check if we don't get the ball. If we don't get the ball first. right? Let's put them in check. Let's put up or shut up. It's our home. Let's play the game. Let's play our game. Let's do what we need to do. But I do agree with you to the point where I think Shanahan does want to say something saying, I don't need you, Kirk. I think he wants to make that statement. I do. But I still think it's within the confines of the structure of this offense. I don't think Kyle's going to go out of his way because I know in the part of his head that he's going to say, Jimmy's not Kirk. Jimmy's not Tom. Jimmy's not Steve Young. Jimmy's Jimmy. And
I got you. So he's going out there with a governor on him. I got you.
Yeah, that's that. He's been having the governor on him for the last 3 games, and look at how better this offense is playing.
I like it. And that goes back to what the commenter said. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep doing it. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I just think that Kyle's going to try to, I don't know, man. I just can't see 3 games in a row with the same exact gameplay. I can't see it. To me, I like it and it makes sense. I just can't see it. All right. So let me ask you this question. I've been dying to ask you this question since we started talking. Since we first started the show, I wanted to ask you this question. If Mitchell is back, if he's back, do we see a play with Mitchell and Debo in the backfield? It's a simple question. I don't have anything else. I'm not leading up to anything. I just wanted to know what your thoughts are. If Mitchell is in the backfield, if he's back, I'm not talking about Wilson or any other running back, specifically Mitchell. If he's back, do we see a play where it's him and Debo in the backfield? Even if they start in one formation and then,
sure, I think you could see
Debo
it.
Samuel comes back.
I think you could see it.
Yeah. All right.
I do.
I was just wondering. I think that puts the defense in a really, really tough spot.
Right, they put Jawan Jennings at fullback.
Yeah. I've been looking for this play. I don't see it anywhere. I've rewatched this game 3 times already. Someone said that Ayuk was lined up at tackle on a play.
I think that was when what's his name went out.
Nope. I just looked at it. He was lined up as the second wide receiver from the top of the screen. You're talking about when Williams was pass eligible and the next play he couldn't go in. It was Compton at one tackle and it was Moore as the other tackle. It wasn't that play either.
Off?
Who?
Was Ayuk flexed off the side of Trent Williams?
Yeah, he was where no, Trent Williams wasn't on the play. He was at the top of the screen to the left tackle, off the line of scrimmage. He was the off-ball guy.
But was he flexed off of him? Like if the tackle's here, was he like
he was there and then back off the line of scrimmage,
yeah.
So was that the tight end spot maybe?
Yeah, they probably thought he was he was lined up flexed off like a flex tight end.
Yeah.
A move tight end.
Right.
Not an inline tight end.
But I don't know where people said I heard someone say that he was a tackle, and I'm like, I didn't see that shit at all. So I don't know what they're talking about. I didn't see it. All right, but here, let's get to the other side of the ball here, man. Let's talk about our defense against their offense. Let me just ask you this. What's your bigger concern? Is it Jefferson or is it Dalvin Cook?
I'm more concerned with Jefferson. I really am. Because I think Nick Bosa is an excellent edge setter versus the run, right? We're getting Greenlaw back. We have Fred Warner. We have Al Shahir, who's been playing pretty damn good. Mm-hmm. And I think we're going to stay in a base for a good part. If anything, we'll go to a big nickel with a 3 safety look with Hufanga in the field. I think we have the ability to contain him without becoming aggressive in run blitzes.
Okay.
I think we have the skill set at the second level, the speed, and I just think that you got to realize something, right? They have a successful run game, but I was reading something earlier. They also have the most tackles behind the line of scrimmage in their run game, meaning, tackles for loss, right?
Okay.
So that tells me it's hit or miss. Now, when you have an aggressive front, you have an edge setter in Bosa, you have Armstead, you have DJ Jones, who's been playing pretty damn good this season, and then you go to Ekobom, Omanahu, D Ford on the other edge, but D Ford's probably going to be only in passing situations. Arden Key, I think the 49ers have the ability to cause some type of disruption in their running game. So I feel that their style and their aggression up front with their down linemen can really not stick a fork, but mess up their run game. The timing of their run game. Because their struggles are the interior. Center guard.
Well, that's because they're on their fourth center. Like they've been shuffling through centers over and over, and their centers are not good.
And that's why I said to you on the phone, I think Armstead needs to have a monster game. I think Armstead needs to push that center and that guard, whoever he's lined up on, in the backfield every play. Just use your broad strength and your long-ass arms and bench him into the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you really affect their run game. And it's not a knock against Delvin Cook. I think he's a phenomenal running back. I just feel that Jefferson is more dangerous and could have a bigger impact if he gets loose or if they can't control him.
Okay. I'm with you on that. I forgot to tell you this stat when we were discussing the offense, and I hate to backtrack, but I'm not going to finish the show without saying this. So let me do this now really quick. And I sent it to you in the itinerary here. 3rd and 1 or 3rd to 3. So 1, 2, or 3. 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. The Vikings defense is ranked 27th in the league at stopping that down. They are terrible in 3rd and short situations. Absolutely terrible.
And that's what your starting defensive line.
Yes, because that's back in base, right?
So doesn't that tell you what Kyle's going to do?
Yes, it does. It does. And the flip side is on 3rd and long, so 3rd and 4, all the way to 3rd and 7, they're second in the NFL. They're really good when it's 3rd and long time.
Because they're aggressive.
Because they're aggressive.
So that's why I'm saying you come out with a heavy run attack and you keep it 3rd and short.
Yeah, I wanted to give you that point of discussion. I sent it to you, like I said, I sent it to you in the itinerary, but I forgot to give that to you there. I just thought that was a very interesting stat. I mean, we're 10 games in now. We're 10 games in, and that's not anything, to just step over. That's a crazy stat. When I heard that, I was like, wait, is that really? Imagine 3rd and short, and you can't get teams off the field.
And you have 2 of the bigger defensive tackles in the league. And now they're both out.
Now they're both out. It gets even worse.
What does that tell you? That tells me I'm screaming. I'm friggin' lining up and playing.
But doesn't that mean that you pass on 1st down so you don't get a 1 or 2 yard gain? You got to get 6 or 7 on the 1st down now. Do the short pass.
If you
this is gonna be a good game, man. I can't wait.
If you watch this offense, their success on they have a pretty decent success rate on 1st and 2nd down runs.
Our offense?
Yeah. I think so.
I'm watching the 1st down right now, and we gained 1 yard.
Okay, that's one play. Go ahead. Run fast forward.
Well, the other Debo touchdown, remember, we lost a yard on that play. It was 2nd and 11, and Debo ran it in for a 21-yard touchdown. Or however, 28 yard. I forget how long it was. That was the one where I told you that we went strong side, and then he ran to the weak side.
How many 3rd and longs were we in?
Oh, God, I don't have those numbers. I don't know that.
Just off the top of your head from what you've been watching.
3rd and long, 4 or more, you mean? Right?
How many 3rd and long situations were we in?
I can remember 2 off the top of my head. Not a lot. But it's because 2nd down became so important. 2nd down is where Kyle really, really got into his bag. You know what? Let me just fast forward here. I'm going to fast forward a little bit and just see what happens here. All right, so we got the ball. It's 2nd and 10. Jimmy's in shotgun. He drops back. He throws across the middle. Ayuk gets it. He was at the 9-yard line, but he ran backwards. I think it's going to be 3rd and 2 here. It's 3rd and 1. It's 3rd and 1. They hand it off to the fullback, who was actually Trey Sermon. He gets the first. 1st and 10, Jimmy's in an empty set shotgun. Drops back, throws, caught by Ayuk. He picks up 9. All right, let's see what happens on the next first down. Let's just see what happens on the next first down here.
You're not going to get that with versus Kendricks. I'm telling you.
This was that was going into the half. So let me go to the third quarter here. Damn, we caused a turnover right out the gate. Oh no. Okay. That's them. That's them. All right, here we go. You don't think we can do that?
I think it's going to be a lot harder versus Kendricks than it was versus Jacksonville.
I think that first down is just to set up the other two plays. I think that this team has put an emphasis on second down efficiency. I really, really do. But I can't prove it. I don't think Kyle really cares about. All right, here we go. 1st and 10. Jimmy's under center. He tosses it back to Wilson. Wilson gets to the outside, strong side, and picks up 4. Jimmy's under center on second down. Fakes the toss back to Wilson. Throws it over the middle. Boom. Completed pass to, you guessed it, Debo. His only catch of the game. First down. I think second down is the money down. I really do. First down. Jimmy's in shotgun. Single back receiver. Fakes the handoff. Throws it behind the line of scrimmage to Brandon Ayuk, who picks up 6. It's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 3, I'm sorry. Single back set. Hands it off. Gets the run for the first down. All right, here's another first down here. The first downs aren't the successful ones often. 1st and 10. Fakes the handoff to Debo. Jimmy throws across the middle. Wide open. George Kittle. That's what I think we're going to see. It's going to be the passing.
Yeah,
First
but you're
down.
not playing versus a caliber linebacker of Kendricks. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
Okay. Okay. All right. I see what you're saying. I feel you.
Dude, you cannot sleep on this guy. This guy is a good middle linebacker.
Debo's 21-yard gain was right there.
And he's in Jimmy's head. I'm telling you. Jimmy has had.
I believe you. And I think that this is Kyle saying, hey, you want to make money next year? You got to show people that you can overcome this. I think this is a game about a message. I really, really do. And I think if all else fails, it's not going the way you want it to, we'll revert back to what we got to do. I think it's the opposite way. You're saying do this until they stop it, and then you switch. I think they switch to start the game, and then if all else fails, we'll get back to what we got to do. And again, we both see the game going the same way. It's one and switch to the other. It's just a matter of when. Our times are off on when it happens.
I just can't see them throw the ball in a line and versus a team that is so decimated at the defensive line spot. They're pulling people off the fucking practice squad to play this game.
I figured out what our bet should be. Remember we were talking about our bet? 4 or less rushing attempts on the opening drive for the 49ers. I figured out what our bet should be.
What?
Wings to go.
I'll bet that. I don't care.
So here's what we'll do.
First down, they just ran for 6 yards.
But that's the Rams game. That's not against, right?
Mike,
It's
the
not
Rams defense is a lot better than the Vikings. Come on, Mike. Don't say that.
No. That's true. That's true. Especially with all the injuries.
I do agree that second down has become the money down for Cobb, because if you look at it, you're kind of 50-50. You want to go into second down you want your first, even if you get your first down, you get 3 yards, a positive 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're at 7. So if you come back on second down, you get 5, you need 2 yards to go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where Kyle gets in this bag of tricks. You don't know if he's going to run or throw. You don't want to be in a third and long situation with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right. Last game, our third down efficiency, we were only 6 of 12. It didn't feel like that because we were just cooking so much, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we finished the game with a total of 25 first downs. Only 6 of them came on third down.
So the rest were first and second downs.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting. We're going to have a lot of fun watching and dissecting this game. This is going to be great. So here's the bet. 5-piece chicken strips from Wings to Go. I'll deliver it to you. Oh, you want more? You want more than 5?
Wings to go? Absolutely.
I will deliver it to you. Okay. I will deliver it to you. Are you going to accept the bet?
Yeah, I'll bet that.
4.
4.
4 rushing attempts on our opening drive.
4.
If it's 4 or less, I'm right. If it hits 5, you're right. Opening drive.
4 or less. Yeah.
All right. How many strips are we talking here?
I don't care. Whatever you want. I don't care.
All right. I'll make the bet at 5. But if I'm telling you now, if I'm delivering to you, I'm going to make it worth it. I'm not just getting you 5 strips. Because that ain't worth the gas. So I'll hook you up.
You don't have to deliver it. That's great.
Yeah. How else are you going to get it?
I'll drive over there.
All right. We'll meet somewhere in the middle. How's that? I can't have you paying a bet and you're driving out here. Then you might as well got it yourself. So I got you, man. It's all good. Let's get back to our defense against their offense. I think we both agree that Jefferson is the bigger guy, right? But what if they decide to try to play keep away from the 49ers? Do you have enough confidence in our run defense to keep the game in hand? And the reason I ask that is because we've jumped out to such early leads these last 2 games, perception versus reality.
Yeah.
We've been up at least 2 scores before the next team even gets a point on the board.
Different mindset by the offense.
Right. So they quickly start to abandon the run game and all that stuff. Do you have enough confidence in our defense to stop the run? Because the Niners, again, you rewind back just the first couple of weeks of the season, we weren't doing that great against the run. We weren't.
No.
So what do you think about that?
It is a little concerning. Last 2 games we faced one-dimensional offenses.
We made them one-dimensional.
Yeah, we faced. Yeah, due to the lead, they became one-dimensional. So I feel that it could be tricky. I mean, Dalvin Cook's a great running back. They do run an outside zone. They run an inside zone, very similar to our offense, like you said. But I just feel like this team, I don't know what they did, but it seems like they're really like locked in and focused. James Robinson is a great running back, not to the skill set of Cook, but I mean, he is a good running back, and they kept him in control, in check. Previous week, they made the Rams one-dimensional. I'm trying to think, who did they face that really torched them? The Colts, Taylor, torched them, I think.
He's a man possessed this season, but yeah.
Yeah, I think he gave him a hard time. But, it's when you become in that situation versus the Colts, that game was a disgrace from top to bottom. The weather, everything about it. So, I mean, it's not an excuse, but that game was just horrible to begin with.
Right. Well, he torched us. You have the Justin Fields got busy on us.
Just running backs. Just keep it running.
Oh, you're just looking at running backs? Yeah, Connor went crazy on us with the Cardinals.
Yeah, Connor did good. Yeah.
Connor went.
Connor, I honestly feel Jimmy Ward was there. Those runs were not going.
Okay, touche.
Because if you look at on the runs that he scored, those are all areas where you were like on film where Jimmy Ward's on the field, he's flying up into the picture and making a tackle.
All right.
That he cut back where there was an opening, that's Jimmy Ward written all over it.
Mm-hmm. So the first time we played them, Connor was their leading rusher. Oh, no. Moore, the wide receiver, had 38 yards. Connor had 29 yards the first time we played them. When we played the Seahawks, before them, Seattle's leading running back was Collins with 44. Carson had 30. When we played Green Bay, their leading running back, So their leading running back had 82 yards. That was Jones.
Yeah, but didn't he have a long run in the beginning of the game? He broke one for like 40-something yards, I think. He had a
Jones,
long run.
no. Jones long was only. Oh wait, that was.
That's his
Yeah,
average.
yeah. No, it was only 12. He had 12 yards.
I thought he had, or maybe it was called back. I remember him breaking one, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
When we look at the Eagles, that was a low-scoring game, but the Eagles, Hurts was the one that really killed us. But Sanders had 55 yards. He averaged 4.2 against us, against the Eagles. And then when you look at the Lions, this is going to be tricky because we've been to starters, but whatever. The Lions had 54 yards from Williams and 39 from Swift, long of 20 and 16, respectively.
I don't know.
Well, they said the Chicago running back. I didn't look that up. Let me see what the Chicago running back did against this. Where's the Chicago game? Oh, here it is here. Chicago, the Bears leading running back had oh shit. Oh, that's Fields. About to say 103 yards. Herbert had 72 yards.
Oh, that's right. Herbert played that game.
And he only had a long of 22, so he had 50 yards. But I mean, they ran him over 20 times, so he had an average of 3 yards a carry. So Collins didn't play against us in that game, guys. That wasn't Collins, Darius. You're thinking about Herbert. So, I mean, it's a decent game. It's a solid game. You're not worried about the run game.
I think,
you know what?
I don't know. I think they're playing good. I think they're. I mean, you have to be worried with a running back like Cook, but I think the Niners are playing at a level. They're on defense. They're playing high. Like they're playing like, I don't know how to explain it, but they're playing as a confident group, I guess would be the right way to say it. So I just feel like if they could continue that play and just keep carrying it week to week, I think this defense will only become better versus the run, versus the pass, and overall as a total unit. But we're going to find out early because I think they're going to try to run it on us.
Dalvin Cook's last 3 games, 86 yards. I'm just talking rushing, only rushing. 86 yards, 94 yards, 110 yards.
Who are they versus?
Same order: Green Bay, Chargers, Baltimore. He's going up against some solid defenses.
Green Bay defense, the run game is all right. The one that sticks out to me is the Raven one.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, that did include overtime carries. So, and in that Ravens game where he had 110 yards, he had a long of 66, but he only had 17 carries.
So he had 50.
Let's just call it 50.
50 yards.
54, yeah.
On 16 carries.
Yeah.
So that's nothing, right? Is that
54 on 16? What is he looking like? 4.2 or something like that? Let me see.
I was gonna say 3.9, 4.
What did we say? How many yards did we say? 54 on 16?
Yeah.
110 minus 66 is 44. Oof. Divided by 16. All right, never mind. It's 2.7.
Yeah, so
2.8 if you want to round up. I mean, against Dallas, he had 78 yards. Against Carolina, he had 140 yards. Jesus. That was real, too, because he only had a long of 23. That was a real 140 yards.
Yeah. So, I mean,
not worried about him?
You have to be worried about him, but I just think it's if you're asking me if they could beat this team just by running the ball, the answer is no.
Okay. All right. I like
That's
it.
Just my opinion. That's
and
just
Bebop has a good point here. Greenlaw's back. What does he bring? Or is he a liability his first game back?
I don't know. I just
Greenlaw's the one that was missing the tackles for the 49ers this year. and last year. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, so let's just do this, man. I think we both respect their offense. I think we both know that their offense is going to be the side to be worried about. And I like what you said. You want to play keep away here. I do agree with you. And we'll see how our defense can hold up. I have some confidence in our defense. I think we'll be okay. Let's do final score predictions. Or do you want to do just margin? You have the Niners winning? Because I have the Niners winning.
Yeah, I think they win.
All right. Instead of doing a final score, let's do margin of victory. How many points do you think the Niners win by? I tell you what, I'll even do you one better. Just in case this happens, we will not count garbage time points. So, like while the team is out there trying.
Oh God.
Because God forbid we're up by a lot, and let's say the score is 24-3.
Yeah.
Just for example, and then they get 2 garbage time touchdowns. It ends up 24-7. Like I won't hold that against you.
I don't think they're going to blow them out. I don't. I think it's going to be a relatively close game. I think it's going to be. What's the line on this game?
That's a good question here. Let me see. 49ers, Vikings. Here we go. The spread. I don't want to go to Barstool. You want to do FanDuel?
Well, they're all tied to Vegas.
Well, where do I look up Vegas lines? Here, let's try.
Put betting line. Niners, Vikings.
It's still. Oh, these are all the ads. Hold on. Okay, here we go. 49ers odds, game 12. All right. So the point spread over under. Where the hell is the? What do you want? What are you asking me right now?
What's the point spread? 6 points, 4 points, 3 points?
-3 for the 49ers. We're favorites at home by 3 points. So it's basically a push on neutral site. Yeah.
I say they win by 5. Don't ask me how. I don't know. The number just came into my head. I think they could if they're gonna. I think they win by a touchdown.
So 7.
Yeah, I think they win by a touchdown.
And that is another point where we're going to disagree. I think the Niners blow them out. I do, Tony.
No way.
Listen to me. I think we win by at least 17.
All right.
I
hope you're right, but I don't think so. I hope you're right. I don't think so.
I don't see a way that they mess with us this game. I think our offense is going to come out and just completely blow them out the water. I think they get desperate and Kirk Cousins does Kirk Cousins things. I really, really do. I think we force them to abandon the run early because Jimmy comes out firing. And I think Zimmer's going to be like, all right, well, Kirk, go get him. And that ain't going to work. I don't think it's going to work for him, man. I don't. I think we come out and we get in that ass this game, bro. I really, really do. I think we win by at least 17 points. I think, listen, everyone's talking about the playoff implications. And let's just, we talked about this. And I said this to you way before the numbers officially came out. And I said, I don't have the calculator that they use. But I said, if we win this game, we have like over a 60% chance of winning, going to the postseason. Right? You remember us talking about that earlier?
Yeah.
Later on, I saw, I think it was Chris Biederman tweet out. If the Niners win this game, we have a 69% chance of making the postseason.
Yeah.
That's crazy. If we lose this game, it goes all the way down to like 29%. So, but I said that before I had I don't have a calculator. I don't know how to do it, but you just have to look at the momentum, 3 in a row. I think Kyle comes out here and he sends a message. We are a playoff bound team. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, guys. Here's the Kool-Aid. I'm drinking it. I got my rose-colored glasses on. Bro, I don't think they can fuck with us this game, Tony. I'm being completely honest with you. I think our offense is dominant. I think our defense does that bend but don't break. And I think our special teams is coming to play. No one's talking about the 49ers special teams. They're playing really, really well. Other than the opening kickoff of the Jaguars game where my man kind of bobbled it. I don't know if it was windy or what. It went over his head. He didn't know if he should let it go out of bounds or what. But that was it. That was it. I am really liking what I'm seeing from this team. I like the reserves that we're getting back. I like this offensive line against that. Like our offensive line was our weakness. And then they go out and they lose 2 more defensive linemen this game. Do you know how that plays in our favor? Of course you do. That's why you think we're going to run the ball so well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see how they can. I don't see how they can hang with us. I don't. And then we're getting
hang with us,
back.
Jefferson. That's how they can hang with us.
It ain't going to be enough. I'm telling you now. Jimmy Ward's not trying to hear it. Jimmy Ward is not trying to hear it. I'm telling you.
I understand Jimmy Ward's not, but you got to realize something. It's a nightmare matchup if Norman is slotted on him, and
if Norman's on him, you don't think Jimmy Ward is there too?
I don't know how they're going to cover him because you can't listen. Thielen is a very good chain mover. You cannot totally like just neglect him and just say he's not there and just focus on Jefferson because he will beat you if you do that. But I just feel that, you know, we talked about this at nauseum. Like, there's games where Mosley looks, holy shit, he looks really good. But then there's games where like, what is he doing? Why is he touching him? Why is he like?
When's the last time you felt that way about Mosley?
Well, when is no, don't say exactly, Mike. When was the last time he faced a caliber wide receiver like Jefferson?
The Rams.
And who's that?
You want OBJ or you want oh God, what's the other receiver they have?
Wait a second. Hold on. You're putting OBJ in the same category as Jefferson right now?
Right now? No. But overall, yes.
You said it.
Yeah, absolutely. OBJ is still to be respected. Don't do that.
Nowhere near as Jefferson, Mike. Nowhere near. I'm sorry. Jefferson's an elite wide receiver. I'm sorry.
OBJ had 18 yards that game.
Okay.
18. Cooper Kupp had 122.
Okay.
Who was
lined up on?
You're watching it. You tell me. They move him all over last time I checked. I know they put him in the slot. They put him everywhere. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I wasn't watching it, and I could be putting my foot in my mouth right now. But I don't know if it was.
When they're in nickel offense, he was in the slot. When they're in base personnel, he was the outside guy. Because don't forget, Robert Woods was hurt.
Right. That's why I said OBJ, because I figured it had to be. All right. Let's go to the Cardinals game then. Go to the Cardinals game. They got weapons out there, right?
Okay.
So the last Cardinals game, their top receivers were, Connor, but Christian Kirk had 91 yards.
He was in the slot.
Moore had 25 yards, and Wesley, I think, is a tight end, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was there.
He's like 6'4", 206. So I don't know how to. Kirk, they had someone named. Nope, that's Connor. Oh, Moore had 25 yards. So that's it. I mean, when's the last time somebody gave Mosley a challenge? I don't even want to go to the Bears game. They barely passed the
Green Bay game.
Okay, there you go. Let's go to the Green Bay game. Here we go. Green Bay, Packers, Devontae Adams had, oh, Jesus Christ, 132 yards. But Adams moves all over the field.
I wish I had that game on here. Let me see. Hold on. Was that nationally televised? Yes, it was.
Because other than Adams, it was Lazard with 42. Oh, no. Wait. Van-Des Scantling had 59. And only 3 receptions with a long of 47. Come on, bro. Y'all going to put some respect on Mosley's name.
Yeah. As soon as I turn it on, what does he do? He fucking pass interference on Mosley. Come on.
But that hasn't happened. We had 1 penalty last game, Tony. That's damn. I should have put that in the perception versus reality. The lack of penalties on the defense. I should have put that in there. I didn't do it. Oh, they said did E-Man play against the Packers?
Yeah, I just saw it. He played.
Oh yeah. You just
Norman. I don't think Norman played.
I can tell you. Give me a second. Josh Norman did play. He had 1 tackle in that game.
Because Lenore, that in the same screen, Lenore was the outside receiver.
Lenore had 1 tackle. Norman had 1 tackle. Mosley's not on here for any. Oh yeah, he is 6 tackles. They targeted his ass. All right, so maybe Mosley is responsible for the success of Devontae Adams.
Just a little bit, no?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not watching it. You got it over there. I don't know. But I got faith in my guy Mosley. I'm on this ledge by myself. Mosley's not getting beat up this week. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm not worried about it because they can put Thielen in the slot or the opposite side against Norman.
This is the first possession. Hold on.
Let's go, Mosley. Look at him trying to find fault in my man. You can't find it, bro.
They're showing D'Amico Ryans. Hold on.
God, that game was ugly. Oof. Oh, that game was bad. We had 7 penalties in that game for 87 yards. Jeez Louise. Oh, wait. No, I'm lying. We only had 4 penalties that game. They had 7. Here, listen to this. It says we had 4 penalties for 86 yards. It says penalty first downs, 5. Is that how many we got from penalties? Because I guess so, because they got 3.
Yeah.
They got 3. Okay, 3 penalties, first downs for them. Okay. I like Mosley. I don't think Mosley's going to be a problem. He's playing with a lot more confidence. He's doing a more hip to hip. I'm really liking how this young man is playing, man. I really am. I wish he could shed blocks better, but I mean, it is what it is.
He did that. The matchup of whoever is on Jefferson is scary. I just feel like that.
As long as if we can keep Jefferson away from Norman, I'm okay.
Well, I'm watching this now. He already flipped twice.
Who flipped twice?
Adams.
Well, no, but the Packers move Adams around. They use him the right way. They use him as a chess piece.
I think they do with Jefferson too.
Do they?
Yeah, because there's been times Jefferson lined up in the slot.
Ah, shit.
And then Thielen will come out in the slot, and Jefferson will be on the opposite side of Thielen.
And look, Mosley's only allowing 4 catches, so y'all better make them good ones. That's it, man. I got nothing else for you, Tony, man. I think we both think the Niners win. I think the Niners win by at least 17. You said that they win by a touchdown. Either way, it's a good day for the Niner fans, baby. That's all I got for you guys. Any final words, man? Let's get some final thoughts and let's go home because my bladder's going to explode.
Nah, I mean, we pretty much talked about it. My opinion, it's going to be heavy run, set the tone of the game, and then Jimmy will be throwing the ball. But I think they want to set that presence. They want to make the impact on the first possession and screw around with the offense because your best defense is a successful offense that keeps opposing teams on the sideline, or opposing offenses on the sideline. So if you're running the ball at a high success and you're getting, a high rate and you're having success off of it, that's your best defense.
Let me ask you this question really quick. Any chance, just hear me out. I know this sounds crazy. Any chance that they take Jimmy Ward and match him up with Jefferson?
If they put Jefferson in the slot, yes.
They can, because then you got Huff and you got Tart. They can do what they want to do.
That would be their big nickel.
Because if we do that, Jefferson ain't doing shit this game. Jimmy Ward's coverage skills are so underrated.
No, 100%. But then any good offensive coordinator would put Hufanga in an uncomfortable situation.
You got to try to. You got to hope you don't get home then, because the only way you get to Hufanga at that point is if you're going deep. You got to hope that Bosa, Ford, Armstead, Key aren't getting after your quarterback then. Bro, they're done. There's nothing they can do this game, bro. I'm hyped. Oh, I'm hyped. We about to put our foot in that ass, bro. Everybody's going to be talking about us after this game. Everybody. That's the chess piece right there. Jimmy Ward and Jefferson. That's the chess piece. Whether it's doubling or one-on-one, that's the chess piece right there.
Yeah, but
Jimmy Ward gonna make it play. Huh?
If you do that, that means K1's off the field.
Well, I mean, how often are they using 3 or 4 receivers?
Last week I watched them versus Green Bay. They had 3 receivers decent amount of times.
Yeah. Shit.
Well, because it was a shootout.
So we'll see how it plays out, man. I really like Jimmy Ward. I think Jimmy Ward's coverage skills are underrated, undervalued, and he is a major chess piece in that secondary. I have all the confidence in the world in the 49ers. Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you. My final thoughts are this. Did you finish your final thoughts? Let me shut up. Did you finish?
I'm done.
My final thoughts are this. This game is going to come down not to the players and not to the execution. It's going to come down to the game plan. The players are going to execute whatever the game plan is. I have confidence in that. It wasn't part of the perception versus reality, but my honest thoughts are this. The 49ers have done everything that the coaches have asked them to do. They said, and by they, I mean Kyle, well, we got to protect the ball. The turnover stopped on offense. Kyle also said the defense has to give us more chances. We've been getting at least 2 turnovers a game. And they said special teams has to do better. The special teams got a turnover in the last game. Nobody's talking about that, but they did. I think that as long as the coaches are in their bag and they call the right game, we will win this game. I don't think it's on the players. I think the players are motivated. I think the players are juiced. I think the fans are there. I think home field advantage is back. I think getting that first win at home was a major monkey off the back. That was Steve Young taking the monkey off the back of Jerry Rice. That's what that moment was. And now it's on the coaches to put this team in the best position to win. And as long as they do that, the 49ers will coast. Not just get to, they will coast, cruise control, recline the seat, and relax their way to victory this week. I think the 49ers take out the Minnesota Vikings, and we win by at least 17. That's what I truly, truly believe. That's all we got for tonight. That's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it, man. Get that monkey off the back, man. Coaches, it's on you. Kyle Shanahan, get in your bag, bro. D'Amico Ryans, get in your bag, bro. What's that special teams guy's name?
Hightower.
Get in your bag, bro. We're going to be okay, man. We're going to be okay. 49ers by at least 17. Book it. Tony, I can't wait to get these wings to go, baby.
Oh, God.
4 rushes or less on the opening drive, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. All right, that's going to do it for us tonight, guys. We appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. We really, really do. Guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell somebody about us. And if you just jumped in here, you didn't hear the whole thing, don't fret. It will be turned into a podcast. Download us on your favorite podcast, whatever you use to listen to podcasts. We are there. Just search Nothing But Niners. It will pop right up. You can enjoy this episode as soon as we're done. That's going to do it for us tonight. I'm your guy, 49ers Mike _NFL. To my right is my guy, Tony. He is NJ Niner Fan 499. Get on Twitter. Give us both a follow. And we are out of here. Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always
remain faithful.
We're out of here, guys. Peace.
We all gas, no brakes, pumped up, no fakes. We spinning, we winning, we high stakes. We never miss, we all makes. Look at us dudes trying to prove, bringing you news with nothing to lose. Mike, Nick, Tony, Wayne, Method Man, we bring the pain. Hey, see, I'ma confess it. We under the pressure. If you looking to find us, we them nothing but Niners. Nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing.